Why hello there everybody, welcome back to my channel, I hope you're all doing well. So this is the fourth episode of my Legacy Diaries series in The Sims 4. I've gained quite a few subscribers in the last couple of days, so firstly, hello. Secondly, if you have no idea what's going on here, I will link the first episode of this series where I explain everything that's going on, so if you're interested, maybe check it out. So at the end of the last episode, Chloe gave birth to the little baby Jack, but as you may have also noticed, we had another new addition to our household. This new little puppy is Max. He was one of Tristan's family doggos, but as we saw in the last episode, both of Tristan's parents sadly passed away. So both Tristan and his brother decided to take one of the family dogs each. So Tristan's brother Isaac took the other pup Spiky, and then he actually moved into an apartment in Evergreen Harbour. He actually invited us over to his new place to check it out. It was really nice. I've never actually been to this part of Evergreen Harbour. Since I installed Eco Lifestyle, I really haven't explored this world very much because this is actually the first family that I've been playing with where I've had this pack installed. We didn't actually stick around too long. We mostly just chatted in the corridor outside, but nonetheless, it was nice to see him. So a lot of the time this episode was spent being very low-key. We mainly focused on earning a lot of money. I actually built a new house for this family, but we couldn't afford it yet, so I'll be skipping out a lot of footage of just basically us making money. So speaking of baby Jack, he would actually not be staying a baby for too long. He aged up and we baked him a little chocolate cake just to celebrate. With him aging up, we also needed to turn these skill building, candle making, juice fizzing, painting room into an actual nursery because Jack now needs a bedroom. Because we did name him Jack after Jack Frost because he was born in winter, I wanted to stick with the blue and white themed where I could, and I think his nursery turned out pretty cute. So after we were finished up with the cake, Chloe decided to head over to the gym with Tina and Lilith. This was a gym that I placed in Newcrest from the gallery. It was just one of the most popular ones which came up, but I sadly didn't know who the creator was, so I'm really sorry about that. But again, if you remember from the end of last episode, Tristan and Chloe actually got engaged. So in preparation for that, Chloe wanted to ask Tina and Lilith to be her bridesmaids. We came to this gym because it was actually Chloe's New Year's resolution to lose a bit of weight. We never actually complete that goal, but it was a nice idea to be here anyway. So both the girls said yes, but it was a bit annoying because while we were talking about it, this random guy was just standing in the middle of us the whole time. And just before we left, we actually spotted Tina's daughter Olive at the gym with Sophia Björgerson, I never know how to say that chick's name, and from the way they were looking at each other, I don't know, I think there might be something there, people. But anyway, just to finish off the trip, we also gave Tina and Lilith each a little candle that Chloe had made as a little thank you gift for agreeing to be her bridesmaids. I'm pretty sure that giving gifts to your bridesmaids is something that you do in real life. I'm not married, so I don't know, but I did it anyway because I thought it would be cute. So the next day, the lottery was getting drawn. Tristan and Chloe both bought tickets, but neither of us won by the end of the day. I think that it was actually Sophia who won, funnily enough, so, you know, I hope that her and Olive do get together so that, you know, they can just buy a giant house and be happy forever. So let's talk about Max for a little minute. He's an Australian cattle dog, I think. My oldest friend in real life has always had them in her family. So she actually had one that looked exactly like Max, and so because of that, he's actually got a special place in my heart. Speckles is of course still our OG, but Max is amazing. He's very naughty, he loves eating trash and rolling around in puddles, but we love him anyway. So the night of the lottery, Tristan asked his brother Isaac to head over to the local pub with him for his stag do or bachelor party, I think you call it in America, I'm not too sure. It was very low key, they just wanted a fun boys night, so we ordered a drink and we were going to play some foosball play some foosball at the foosball table, there we go. But then the weirdest thing happened. Isaac just straight up bounced without even saying goodbye to us or, saying what was going down there. And, on his brother's stag do, and it's literally just the two of you, like that is not cool. So anyway, Tristan, because the pub was pretty dead, just went home and he explained what happened to Chloe, and she decided to just cook him a lovely dinner of pan-fried tilapia so that they could just have, a kind of cute little celebration evening anyway. I know that's not traditional stag do, but hey, it's The Sims. We've got to work where we can. So anyway, it was really cute. The two of them just sat at the bar and had a little, chat, and even baby Jack grabbed himself a plate. I experienced this really weird glitch here where he would grab the food and he would sit on the sofa, but he wouldn't eat it. So in order to stop him getting taken away, I did actually fulfill his needs just this once because I was worried that he'd get taken away if he couldn't eat and fulfill his hunger himself. So that was a weird glitch that I ran into. I did later kind of find a workaround for it by putting him in the high chair and feeding him that way, but I tend not to normally use the high chair just because of how long it takes to do. So once again, this is a legacy challenge with rules that I've made up myself. So to set up for the next generation, which I'll explain the rules of later as we get closer to that, but one element of it and one kind of task that we can do while we're still here is to get all of our kids' skills leveled up all the way, because we want our kids to be super big brained. So that's why we're going to be having Jack work on his skills so much so that he masters them all. The next evening, it was time for Chloe to have her hen party or her bachelorette party. She took all the girls and hit San Myshuno. I replaced the default penthouse rooftop bar thing in the city with, once again, this amazing club lounge thing made by somebody on the gallery. It's an amazing build. We all rocked up to the bar, we got drinks together, we caught up and stuff, and then I tried to get everybody to come upstairs to the club and the dance floor bit, but everyone pretty much left. What is it with Sims in my game right now? A few people hung around a bit, but it was a pretty dead party, honestly. We decided to go and try the bubble blowing machine, and we changed it to some funky flavour, and we straight up fell asleep. So I guess Chloe was really feeling the boredom. So Chloe eventually woke up and we rolled home and fell straight into bed. The next day was Love Day, and I was thinking about having the wedding today, but it ended up being a weirdly crazy morning, having to get chores done, caring for the child, etc. So by the time we would have got round to it, it would have been too late in the day. Despite that though, as it was still Love Day, we got our beautiful little lovebirds over to this romantic restaurant in Newcrest for a just, cute little date night meal. It ended up being a very cute night. It was nice to have an excuse to put on some fancy clothes, to treat ourselves a bit, get some nice food and cocktails, and it, ended in a way in which any good date should end, if you know what I mean. But Tristan also got food poisoning, which isn't great. A lot of the next day was spent doing just chores and the usual stuff, but I had noticed that Jack had developed some bad sentiments with his parents, and I don't know how, but it got pretty annoying because every time he was around his parents, which, he's a toddler, that he needs to be around his parents quite a lot to, be bathed, be fed, to get potty trained, etc. But whenever he was around them, he would get these bad moodlets which would make him angry or sad because apparently his parents betrayed him in some way. I've never seen these sentiments before and I've got no idea how he got them, but yeah, it was quite annoying. So if any of you guys have had these before, please let me know, because I want to avoid other kids in the family eventually getting these sentiments in the future. So that evening, Chloe was feeling a little bit funky, and at first she thought it might have been food poisoning like Tristan had, but she decided to take a pregnancy test just to be careful, and it turns out that their shenanigans on Love Day resulted in another baby, so that's super exciting. So with the exciting news in mind, they both went to bed, and then the next day it was spent making money, doing chores, looking after Jack, the usual, but it was also Tristan's birthday, so he only wanted something low-key and cute. So we just invited Jack to dinner at this little Mexican restaurant in Oasis Springs, but he was still being pretty weird, to be honest, and making conversations kind of awkward. So this was the second time that he's been kind of strange around us. So, you know, I've got no clue what's going down there with him. But the meal was nice enough, and we ordered cheesecake after so Tristan could age up. Then we just paid and headed home, and what do you know, Tristan got food poisoning again. We need to start sewing if this happens again, and I really hope that Sims can't die from this. Then, in the middle of a really stormy night, as you can see, we have skipped past a couple of days, Chloe went into labour. We headed to the hospital, and because there was a storm going on, Tristan was really freaked out. He had the new scared emotion, which came with the paranormal stuff pack patch, which came out just a few days ago actually. But after being in labour for a little while, Chloe gave birth to another baby boy. I decided to name him Blaze, which I know is a bit of a funky name, but I decided to do it because I wanted to match it to the fact that there was a storm going on outside, just like how we'd matched Jack to winter and the fact that it was snowing when he was born. So I thought that was really cute. Then something weird happened. We got the notification that we had another baby boy. At first, I thought that this was just a glitch. Then I realised that she had twins. So I wanted to keep with that theme, and I decided to name him Rain, which I thought was really cute. And then we had another baby. We had triplets. We had a baby girl. When this was happening, lost my mind. I wanted these guys to have 4 babies in total, but I wasn't expecting it to happen this soon. But anyway, we named her Stormy, like Kylie Jenner's little girl. I couldn't help it, I'm sorry. So then, yeah, our final baby is called Stormy Winters, which I think's a really cool name. But I was just absolutely gobsmacked because I know how rare it is to have triplets without any kind of buff, like on the ley line trait or the fertile reward trait. I googled it, and it's literally a 1% chance of this happening. I've never had this happen to me in my game before. And like I said, I wanted these guys to have 4 kids anyway, but not at once. So it is going to get wild in this house. We literally had to remove the sofa to make room for the babies. That's the kind of state that we're in right now. And if Jack didn't have enough emotional turmoil in his life right now, when he found out that he had 3 new siblings all in one night, he was absolutely outraged. He was not having it. But he would get over it soon, hopefully, because the next night was his birthday. Chloe baked him another cake, and Tristan's brother Isaac stopped by to help celebrate. I'm pretty sure that in traditional Legacy Challenge rules, you have to randomize the traits of the children. But again, as this is my own challenge, I decided to make him hot-headed because it's not a trait that I'd usually pick. I honestly tend to make my Sims squeaky clean without any personality flaws, but I thought this trait just fit him so well because of how much of his childhood was spent with him raging at things. And you'll see how I decided to deviate from the Jack Frost white and blue vibes we set out for him as a toddler in his bedroom, to having like orange and black and grey vibes, which I thought was pretty cute because as a toddler, he was wearing an orange top by default, and then as a child, he was wearing orange trousers. So I just thought that would be pretty cute and, you know, kind of match his slightly grungy aesthetic that he's got going down. The next day, we just kept grinding out our skills and making money, but now it was just a bit more challenging with the inclusion of 3 newborn babies. If we didn't have enough on our plate, Max also got ill, so Tristan had to take him to the vets. I'm not actually sure what his illness was this time, but funnily enough, Tristan was, or Isaac rather, was also there with Spiky, so we didn't have much time to chat to him because our appointment went through pretty fast. But anyway, then we headed home and the rest of the day was just pretty standard. But then the next day, something actually kind of positive happened. Jack asked Tristan for advice. He still has the negative sentiments, but I think that this could be considered progress in their relationship. But then yeah, that morning, I was actually kind of going out of my mind with the lack of space that we had in this tiny house. So we'd made enough money. I just decided to move the fam into the big new house, which I've got a speed build for if you're interested in seeing that. But it was just stressing me out so much. So we decided to just pack our bags at the grand old time of 6 a.m. and move into the new house. So moving into this new house instantly made our lives better. We had a place for both the babies and a sofa, and we finally have a dining room table. This was a big fat life level up. So later that day, it was time for the babies to age up into toddlers, so it's time for the real chaos to begin. Stormy aged up by default, wearing these styling shades. Very on trend, darling, more on trend than I will ever be. But I can just tell that she will be a sassy little queen. So when I did give her just a little makeover in cast, because the girls are always my favourite. I know, I'm sorry. And I decided to keep these sunglasses on her because I just thought they were so cute. But anyway, all the kiddos toddled over to the nursery. They're all sharing one room together. I thought it'd be cute to make it quite green and naturey in decorations in there. But things were starting to get a bit crazy for sure. We are trying again to level up all the toddlers' skills to max. I did also place a baking fridge, like a bakery fridge in their bedroom, which if you are ever doing a 100 baby challenge or generally have a lot of kids in your house, this is a lifesaver because the toddlers can reach in and grab the food themselves. They don't need to go all the way downstairs to the kitchen. They don't need to be put into a high chair, and the food stays fresh, which is better than just popping it on the table. So yeah, it doesn't look that cute, but practical wise, it's worth it. So to cap off this episode, I thought that it was high time that we had the wedding. I know that it probably feels like an age ago now that we had the failed stag do and the also kind of failed hen party, but oh well. I thought that it was time for a wedding. I added in this absolutely beautiful wedding venue. I believe that it's called like the Blossom something wedding venue. It's really cute, but I forgot that you need to make a wedding cake for a wedding, so I converted one of the toilets into a kitchen and forgot to take out the toilet. So just a pleasant reminder that food hygiene is important, people. But oh well, we had a cake in the end, whether or not it did smell slightly funky because of the room that it was cooked in, but oh well. It's just, it wouldn't be a wedding, or it wouldn't be Chloe and Tristan's wedding if it, didn't have some kind of hiccup going down in it, I don't think. But anyway, it was really cute. It was such an adorable event. We invited all of Chloe's friends, and it kind of made me realize how much we should focus on trying to get Tristan some more friends. I think he's really only got his brother, now that his parents are dead as well, so it's something that I think I will be working on in later episodes. But yeah, we had everyone grab some cake and sit at these cute little bars. We had these guys take some cute pictures together and just generally be cute. I think that having 3 toddlers and 1 child kind of, took a toll on these guys, because they did eventually, towards the end of the night, both fall asleep on benches. But hey, pretty sure my parents did that at their wedding too. But yeah, we just spent time catching up with friends because we really haven't seen them all in a whole while, because we've been, making babies, taking care of said babies, and leveling up our life. So we are coming up on the end of this episode, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it. It took me a lot longer than expected to make this episode just because we've got kids. I tend to play slower whenever I've got children in the house. So yeah, sorry that this took a bit longer to get out than usual, but I hope that you're having a great day, and I'll see you again soon.